All right, guys, let's start this short update on the price of Bitcoin. And generally, that is the thing from which you can derive everything in a crypto market because altcoins are following BTC pretty well. So let me check the sound in a few seconds and then we will start. I guess everything is okay. So, what we can see here, first of all, I shall make a point that we are still in pretty much the same consolidation range. Yes, it is getting broader. Yes, we're kind of trying to break the ascending channel. We're actually having a test of this support, which was resistance before. We also actually had a rejection when we tried to test the bottom of, the top of this channel after the breakout to the downside once again, and it got rejected again, but then we are having the pullback. So this is kind of a normal thing when you can which you can expect during the consolidation period when the price tries to move back and forth in order to make you open a wrong direction trade, or at least open as many trades as market can do. And this is the thing. So we are either following the general perspective, general concepts of trading. In that case, what we're doing is that we're following the trend. Here, the trend is pretty weak. It's still upper trend, the bullish trend, so we're expecting the price to go up, but it means that the entry to the market, the exposure to the market should be pretty low. In fact, what most of the people cannot do is to wait here. They want to open a long position here, or short position here, or short position here, and so on and so forth. So they cannot wait until the trend is established. And it doesn't mean that we cannot do the trade right now. I've been saying that for the whole period of time here and here too, that it's more likely to be bullish. It's more likely that we'll see the kind of a relief rally, or at least short-term correction. Those are the levels. You remember, $28,000, $37,000. So those are pretty much reasonable because there is resistance there and there's like Fibonacci levels. I showed that many times before. The thing here right now is we are having that correction for a while with a small values, right? But it confirms that the correction to the upside is due, but it's not confirming to the 100% case, right? But the higher we go, the more likely this scenario plays out. So in that case, again, what we can do is playing short-term things. So yeah, we can enter, let's say, a long right now. Then again, what we'll need to do is to put a stop order here or here. Yes, it's a risky thing, but it's a part of the game here. The risk is a part of the market, because without risk, well, everyone would be millionaires or billionaires. It's impossible. So short term is pretty clear. As I said, it's going to go up with a higher probability than not. And again, let's see what's happening with the stock market. S&P 500 is continuing to go higher after the breakout of this channel. As I mentioned many times before, that was the most likely scenario. What is happening right now, though, is that we have this support which became resistance, and now we're testing it again. I would expect more likely than not necessarily, but more likely than not, that here we'll have a pullback, and only then we may get the breakout. Of course, it's just the trajectory here. It's not necessarily to happen. Maybe we actually break it right now, like within a few days. Well, not today because it's only one day, maybe next week, because we're testing it again. The more often we test the level, the more likely this level is broken. So we may break it and then find the support here and then going even higher. In that case, we'll see something like $28,000 by BTC. If not, if we have a rejection, that is a correction period for BTC as well. And then I would say we could expect something like $21,000, or even if we go below that, even if we go below that low, somewhere here, $19,000, I'm still okay, because that growth is okay to be corrected, and only then we'll see another leg to the upside, to the final point, or maybe like semi-final point of the correction to the upside. So I guess that's kind of positive. What I want to show in a second about the long-term projection here is the volatility. So here is the indicator called historical volatility percentile, meaning it takes the volatility over the period of 1 year. On a daily time frame, it's the best, and you can see how it performs within the major areas of the market, being all-time high or local low. So you can see that, let's say if we go to previous cycle, 2017 18th top here, right, you saw the major volatility spike, and then we see the decline of the volatility towards almost zero. Then again, next spike at $14,000 in 2019, another volatility spike, okay? And then we have the decline of volatility. So those periods are replace each other. They replace each other. But eventually, as soon as we have the major high, which is $60,000, $70,000, which we had in 2021, 2022. Well, it still was 21 with $68,000. So this area, I would say that was the correct top, though. Here, what we have here is the actual maximum for, let's call it a cycle. But then after that, in order to reach the bottom like here, we need to see the decline of the volatility almost to zero. In fact, you can find kind of a similar behavior in the previous market. Like here, you see the volatility was almost zero, right? And so far, what we see here is that we're pretty much close to the high volatility, which is actually at the local low. So I wouldn't call this local low for the volatility. It's still about to come. So probably it's not the bottom, right? It's not a bottom, and that is more likely scenario. Not necessarily it happens and it fulfills, but I think still that the kind of a reasonable range for the price to find its support, global support, is within 10 to 15, I would say 10 to 13, $14,000, and that is where we may expect the sideways price action, global sideways price action, to start, from where we potentially could start buying, accumulating BTCs and Satoshis. All right, guys, that is pretty much it for today, which I was going to point out. I think still that this is about to go higher. In fact, you may argue that this is kind of a bullish wedge here, and then there's still room to grow, and then we go down. Sure, possible, but so far, only one thing which is really reasonably noticeable is that there is a higher highs sequence and a higher lows sequence, which is a definition of the bull trend. We had the same thing here, but then as soon as we have a lower low, lower high, that is when the fun part started, and here we didn't have it yet. So I would say that still the narrative remains the same. I'm pretty positive for the continuation of the growth. So let's see how it goes. But so far, that is pretty much it. I don't see any questions from your side. Go ahead and ask next time if you like, for those few viewers which are watching online. And until then, see you in the comments to this video. Go ahead, subscribe, leave a like, whichever you prefer, and ask what I shall cover in the next video. I will do my best. That is pretty much it for today, guys. Have a great weekend. See you next time, probably on Monday next week. I wish you great profits and safe trading. Goodbye.